social entrepreneurs are faced by two conflicting aspects. Number one, they have the commercial space within which they need to experience what we call the finance institutions, the institutional logic that says that here we are going to commercialize and we are going for profit generation. And yet, you're a social entrepreneur who wants to bring impact and change society. So we find that there is the structural conflict that is forcing the entrepreneur to actually bid to their normative pressure. And then on the other hand, we also have the entrepreneur who wants to advance, because my area of interest is on the startups who are existing below 3 years, so that we actually encourage them to actually grow beyond the 3 years. So when you're new, what happens? You have role models, you have models, you have people you're aspiring to. But we don't really have role models who are in the fintech industry and are social entrepreneurs. They're in the fintech for business. So there's a gap when it comes to role models there. So the entrepreneur opts to mimic the other fintechs, and that doesn't actually fit within their space. So how do they maneuver that? And it's actually through the introduction of bringing in the whole aspect of Utu and Ubuntu and say, can we look at it at a relational perspective and say, how do we nurture the relationships within the social entrepreneurs, build the beneficiaries within the enterprises, so that we can now say that we are going out for social transformation. Okay. Okay,
you can
3 more minutes, because some time was taken with the technical hitches.
Okay.
So for me, Ubuntu is all about looking at the processes and not just aiming at the key result. So are we just talking about social impact? Are we just talking about social transformation? Or can we also go back and see how are we promoting indigenous growth within the social enterprises? How are the different players actually being incorporated? So in my theoretical framework, I'm looking at going beyond the institutional or stakeholder theory to say, can we use Ubuntu Utu theory that actually looks at power from a relational perspective? Because stakeholder engagement gives us a hierarchy of different players with the different powers. When we talk about beneficiaries, I am using that term now because I am hoping that through my research, the participants in my research will coin a different term for themselves. I don't want to name them, but the beneficiaries, can we actually engage them as co-creators, as researchers, or are we going to extract information from them? So I hope by the end of my study that we will have a different term to use other than beneficiaries. And then the outcome will be collective well-being. Can we move beyond talking about sustainability? When we talk about sustainability, which for me, unfortunately, has a lot of Eurocentric connotations, is it the structure? Is it the institutions that we want to sustain, or is it the people? So I'm centering the people and saying that with Ubuntu theory, we're talking about the collective well-being of the players within the enterprises and of the community, well-being even of the institutions. So I close by saying that in my methodology, I will use the Kamukunji approach, which goes beyond participatory action research, to say that because participatory action research, in as much as we're bringing on board the participants in the study to actually engage and contribute with their contributions, there is almost a demand for space. There's almost an abrasive confrontational aspect where the participants are demanding to be contributors. But when we talk about a relational perspective, we are saying that all the players agree that we are all valuable. So I am bringing in the Kamukunji approach in the methodology to actually say that we can be co-creators of strategy, not just co-creators of outcomes, so that we can have the investor in the fintech, we can have the founder and the beneficiary co-creating strategies together.